I forget, something like
Jet Ski Paradise.
What are you wearing today?
I've got my uniform on. Do you like it?
Is your McDonald's uniform?
Yeah, dude. It's my nursing uniform that I just wear to McDonald's to get free shit.
Do they give you a Happy Meal because you're a big boy?
Yeah. I wear a helmet and this, and they're like, good boy, are you here alone? No, it's my nursing outfit. I think this is the first, like, uniform I've had that's not, like, secondhand. Like, at school and stuff, my ones were, like, so old. So this just feels so nice. Like, the shirt I had to wear at school was, like, it was, like, so old that, like, my logo... See how this logo is, like, nice and little? My school one was, like, giant, the shield on it. Like, it was, like, half my shirt and stuff.
Why was it so big?
Because it was just, like, a really old shirt. I don't know where my parents got it from. It was just so old. And, like, even the motto on my one was just, like, God bless the King of Africa, like, George the First and stuff. The Viceroy of India.
Yeah.
This one's much better.
Speaking of fashion and all things fashionable, our book today is about a very...
Special art ho.
Yeah, the book that we're reviewing this week is...
My Year of Rest and Relaxation.
It's a book by Ottessa Moshfegh. It was written in 2018. It's her fourth book.
It's set during the year before 9/11.
Big year.
Yeah. It was a big year. And it's about an art ho who decides that she's going to sleep a year with the help of prescription medication.
Yeah, she's in like her mid-20s and she lives in a very, I'm guessing, you know, bougie apartment that she's paid a year of rent in because her parents have died. And so, yeah, I guess like to deal with the grief of her dead parents, I think that's the reason that she decides to go into this like year-long slumber.
It's a pretty healthy way of dealing with grief, I think.
Sleeping through it.
Yeah.
It's actually so bad to oversleep. It's like just as bad to oversleep as it is to be like super sleep deprived. You are at the same risk for a heart attack from oversleeping as you would be if you were critically sleep deprived. So my whole time reading the book, I was like, well, like, grow up. Just have a manic spiral and go out on the town like the rest of us.
Have
like,
some
at
fun,
least do
dude.
Something. Yeah, if you've got all this money, why are you sleeping?
That would be way better in the book that happened, though. Like, she's just covered in bed sores and was, like, all floppy and stuff, like, when she's walking around. I feel like that would make me like her a lot more because, like, she's not likable the way it's presented, but that would humanize her.
Well, I don't think she's meant to be a likable character at all.
No.
But
yeah, one of my problems with it is she chooses to sleep by like doing all these prescription medications, and she like is listing them all, and they all sound like it doesn't sound fun. It's just like, dude, just do heroin. Like, why are you fucking around with like all this like sleeping tablets? It's like heroin will achieve the same effect. You'll sleep and you'll be having like a way better time. It's way easier. Like, she has to make up all these fucking like reasons why the psychologist has to give her all this medication. Like, she's lying so much.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just go down to the park.
have you not seen The Wire? This is readily available. Yeah, well, you know, like a bunch of the drugs that she does take aren't even real. Like, they're fictional.
Is that true?
Yeah. So, like, she takes this drug Infirmatrol, and that's one of the more hardcore drugs she takes, which makes her take these 3-day blackouts where she'll be asleep, but she'll be doing stuff while she's asleep. Like, she'll order takeout food and, you know, book all of these random appointments for stuff.
Yeah, which is another thing that's like, because, you know, like I had a couple of years of rest and relaxation in my life.
Yeah.
It wasn't on prescription meds.
No, were you blacking out and then calling up to book a table for 4 at the Peter Shamara cell, and you're like, fuck, I gotta cancel that.
But like, I never was it like, oh, I got so high and I booked something? It's just so unrealistic of an addict that you would be like, oh, man, I booked this stuff. And then she's like, I better call them up and cancel it. It's like, dude, just... What? Like, you're an addict, dude. Just leave it. Just don't turn up. It's like, do you know how many birthday parties I just didn't turn up to? Like,
Yeah, she's actually very punctual for... Like, she's not flaky. Her friend's coming around.
yeah.
She leaves the house. She goes to the bodega at the same time every single morning. Like, that's
I
a
know.
routine.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what she's complaining about.
Yeah.
She's got routine.
I think you hate the book is what
I
I'm
hate
getting.
the book so much.
Do you
I really
really?
did not like it. Do you
That
like
is
it?
So, yeah, I really liked it.
That's so funny. I found it so boring and like, I really didn't like it.
Yeah. I think a lot of people who don't like the book hate the main character. And I hate her too. But I don't think you're meant to like her.
I agree, but it's not like... No, I like unlikable characters a lot. I just found...
But just not when they're women.
Yeah. I like Curb.
Yeah. Larry David's great. I like Patrick Bateman. He's awesome. But this girl's got to get a job. Get a job.
Bateman. He's my man.
Yeah. There's one guy character in the whole book.
Yeah.
He makes no appearances. He's
like way worse than every other character. And I'm like, no, this guy's cool. We need this guy in there more. And it's like, I don't know if they were like leaning in this, but this is the part I like, is how it is like a class thing. Like, she's totally able to just be like, I'm just going to sleep for a year. And it doesn't affect her. Yeah. And she's like, I'm still buying like crazy expensive stuff and living this life. And I guess that's on purpose.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't even see her as the main character in the book. Like, I think Reva, her best friend, is like a way more interesting character. And
yeah, definitely.
I think she's like actually trying. Like, she has all of these obstacles she needs to overcome, and the main character just like constantly puts her down and is like,
she's like really abusive to her.
Yeah,
like,
she's
crazy.
horrible to her. And then like, it is a class thing because Reva's had to try so hard to, you know, make it in life, and like, she still doesn't get jack shit.
So like, the last chapter is Reva gets a job in the Twin Towers. And then it's like the last chapter is not on 9/11.
And her ex-boyfriend also works in the Twin Towers.
Yeah, but then he's on holiday during 9/11. During 9/11, she watches the footage and she's like, pretty sure a girl falling out of the building is Reva. Which is crazy.
The thing that got me is that she says the girl falling from the building, her shoe looks too small on her foot. And
it's like, how did you see that?
Yeah, it's like, it's 2001. The camera quality is so bad. I've watched that 9/11 footage a lot.
We watch it every day.
Exactly. Like,
we're very familiar.
Let's watch it now.
I feel like it could be a novella. Like, it went for so long for what, like, it was. Like, it's kind of like it's a pretty cool idea, but then it's just in a circle. Like, it just keeps repeating the same shit. You're just, like, with this depressed girl, and she just keeps saying, like, it literally is, she says, like, my year of rest and relaxation, like, 6 times in the book. Like, it's crazy.
I think it's, for me, this book is like the female Fight Club is the way I read it. Because when you're 13, Fight Club is the coolest story ever.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, this is rebellion. And even the movie version at the end, I found that cringy as a teenager. I just thought it was so awkward. And I think this book is that, but for sad art ho girls.
Yeah.
This is what I didn't understand is what is the psychologist's motivation for giving her all of these pills? Like, she doesn't ask her anything about her life.
She's just like, and she explains it. She just explains by being like, yeah, she's crazy. But it's like, yeah, I don't even know how she's qualified to get all these pills.
It just didn't make sense at all in the book because they would be immediately discredited. Is she doing this with all other patients?
Yeah.
Or does she just see... Is it the fact that she's rich and pretty that she's just like, okay, I'll just give her whatever she wants? Like, is that meant to be the subtext?
I don't think so, because she doesn't even, like, listen to her, really. Like, it's just like she's in her own world.
Yeah, she always forgets how that she doesn't have parents.
Yeah.
And that she's an orphan.
So,
And then
like,
she becomes a shaman at the end of the book.
Yeah.
Like, she becomes a full-on new age hippie, like, crystal healing. That is quite often the case, though. Like, in all the people that I've met who have been into some pretty...
They become a shaman.
Hard lifestyles. Yeah, no. But it's always, like, the tipping point where they'll be like, I'm into nootropics, I'm buying stuff from the dark web. And then they'll be like, yeah, I've purified my whole soul and now I'm a shaman and I just put a piece of amethyst on my head and I'm a breatharian and it's great.
Yeah. Did you ever look at that, what Gwyneth Paltrow's company's doing?
Goop?
Yeah. How they got in trouble because they kept getting girls to put, like, crystals in their pussy and keep it in there for ages. And then, like, heaps of girls got sick because it's just like...
They got toxic shock syndrome?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, tampon companies have been the main ones in court, you know, fighting toxic shock syndrome cases. But the fact that Gwyneth Paltrow is like, can you imagine that court case? It's like, ma'am, how long did you have the amethyst up your vagina? She's like, Your Honor, I believe it was 12 days.
I hope when Paltrow's on the stand, she still, like, supports all her argument. Like, she's like, no, it does help.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to get the energy right.
She converts the judge.
Yeah, the judge is like, yeah, I guess maybe it was her chucker energies were off balance. That's why.
That's why Winston left me.
Yeah. Well, one of the best stand-up comedians in Australia, like, ever to do it, his name was, like, Nick Sun, and he was, like, a dude who was really into, like, drugs and stuff. And then he just became a shaman. And now he's just, like, a cult leader shaman dude.
Where does he live now? Is he still in Australia?
I think he's, like, in the desert somewhere. Like, I think. And he just does that. He does, like, those rituals with that frog stuff that you lick. Is that Cambo?
Yeah,
or something?
Cambo. What they do now is if you want to take it, they pierce holes in your skin, I think on the back of your neck, and then they
that's sick.
Put the liquid into...
You know, you just, like, vomit and shit yourself as well.
Yeah, sick. This is what I don't understand is, like, the romanticizing element of this book with the art ho girls. Like, what's her...
I think they just think it's, like, they just think she's cool. It's like it's like the girl version of like Hunter S. Thompson or something.
Yeah.
So they're like, dude, she's fucked up. She's just kind of like her own person. She's so sure of herself. She's so confident. Like her opinion's so strong. Yeah, but like
Hunter S. Thompson, at least he went to Vegas.
Also, Hunter S. Thompson was doing like stuff constantly. He's like he went with the Hell's Angels for a year. It's like this chick's just in her apartment. And then just like the whole thing is her like...
She can't even make it to the end of the block at the end of the book where she's like been reborn. She's so excited. She's like, I'm a new woman. And she's like panting and smashes her head on the concrete. Yeah, I feel like if I was the author of this book and I had written it as a satire or like as a commentary on what not to do, and they're like, she's so cool. Like, I'd be really... really disappointed. I also saw an interview with the author and Lena Dunham.
I saw that. I watched a tiny bit. Lena Dunham is
insufferable.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how annoying she is.
I didn't even know that was who Lena Dunham was. I watched the first 2 minutes of the video and I was like...
Are they going to feel like, I watched the first 2 seasons of Girls. It's like, I love that.
No, I had this old ex-housemate that used to love Girls, and then the more I started...
Is it the one I know?
No. And the more I started disliking the housemate, the more she was talking about Girls, I was like, I'm never watching this show. Because she just kept on saying how much she loved Lena Dunham. And I'm like, I don't trust your judgment.
I love how every housemate you've had, you've got it's ended in like, you guys hating each other. I know why you love this character so much. You're like, so it's just about some cool girl and these people won't leave her alone. Her annoying friend, her annoying fucking friend.
She's really misunderstood and she's been betrayed.
Yeah.
I'm everybody's least favourite housemate, I think.
But she's so fucking... Lena Dunham is like... Yeah, she's unbearable.
She's awful. I've never seen who she is or what she does. Like, I know what she does, but I went into the comments because I was like, surely I'm not the only one who thinks this interviewer is awful. Like, did they just pluck her off the street? And then looked at the info and it was like, Tessa Moshfegh speaks with Lena Dunham. And I was like, why are you making this whole thing about you?
Yeah, it's crazy. She just fully did. I like at the start of the interview, she asked her one question and then Lena Dunham immediately is just like making faces to people in the audience and stuff and not listening. It's insane.
So this is the second to last stop on your tour. You've been rocking this out for a little bit.
Yeah. Second to last night.
Amazing. Have you, so much, I was thinking about this because so much of this book is about wanting to retreat from people and humanity and like shutting people off in the most aggressive way possible, which is to hibernate. So what does it feel like to you to be exposed to people so intensely? I know it's been a complex one for me. So I'd love your thoughts on that and some help if you could give it to me.
It's so cringy, and I think because Tessa Moshfegh, she comes across as very cool and collected to me, where she just comes across as normal, and Lena Dunham is just being so like high intensity. The first thing she's like, now you're gonna have to tell me, how do we say your name? And it's like, you could have asked her that off camera. It's not funny.
Yeah. What's really fun is, did you see that they're doing a movie adaptation? Do you know who's directing it? That Yorgos, that Greek guy.
Oh, Yorgos Lanthimos?
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I love him too. I love Dogtooth. But how funny is it that it's like, yeah, let's just see what this like Greek dude has. Like, let's get his perspective on this like feminist art ho story about a girl sleeping for a year.
I really hope that his approach to directing movies is the same as when Daniel Day-Lewis takes on a new role for a movie, where he's just like, I must become an art ho.
I must become a rich, depressed art ho.
Yeah. They go into his apartment and it's just like him listening to Red Scare, smoking cigarettes.
But I thought it was pretty funny. I want to see what his take is on it.
Yeah. Imagine if he does what Ping Z does and just completely misses the brief.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good.
I think that'd be pretty good.
I like Ping Z. Do you like Ping Z?
Dude, same.
He's my favorite character. He's so cool. So Ping Z's this Chinese up-and-coming artist, art ho boy, who she met through working at this art gallery in Soho, and he's just...
She's like, he's such a hack, like everything he does, like he will just... like murder animals and then like stuff them as like an art piece.
The best one is where he's like got this splatter painting that's meant to be like Jackson Pollock, but he uses his own cum.
And they're all like labeled like decapitated Vietnamese man and stuff like.
But it's awesome because the end of the book, she uses Ping Zi to fulfill her like super hibernation, because half the book she's like in this half state where she's jumping in and out of hibernation, and then she decides in the last third, she's like, no, I'm going to do this properly, and she just gets Ping Zi to like leave pepperoni pizzas at her bedside, and she just does like a few star jumps every day to like keep her body alive. But he turns it into an art installation piece.
She's like, you can do anything with me, like while I'm asleep.
Yeah.
So he like paints, like he turns into like the worst art piece as well.
It's so funny because I think it just goes to show how self-absorbed all of these characters are, because
I was going to say that.
Yeah, she thinks that like when she goes to this art exhibition, she has this mental image of her being like this damsel in distress, like looking like a Renaissance painting. And he makes her head like really big in all of the pictures or something.
And then he has his mum's audio playing over the top of her getting angry at him, and it's like he doesn't even need, like, it becomes like barely about this girl.
It's
being
nothing
asleep,
about it. There's like Coca-Cola.
This personal piece, yeah.
He's just reappropriated her experience, which I just thought, like, I really liked that scene. I thought that
I liked that part.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, maybe the strongest part.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that. So, would you like recommend people read this?
Yeah, I think it would depend on the person. Like, yeah, I'd like recommend it to maybe my art ho girlfriends, or my sad girls, basically anyone with like a Zoloft or a Lexapro prescription, which is why you also qualified.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for outing me. I only started taking Lexapro after I found Kanye was on it. I'm like, yeah, I go. That's what sold it.
They should just put his head on the cover of every antidepressant box and be like, you want to be cool? What about you? Would you recommend this book?
No, I would not recommend it. It would also be crazy if I did. I don't think any of my friends would be into it.
You don't think any of your bong rat mates would be wanting to read this?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they would.
But I think it's good that you pushed yourself and went outside of your comfort zone.
Explored new things.
Exploring what it's like to be a thin,
it was
white,
okay,
beautiful
man. It was
woman.
I'm just very clearly not the target demo, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I understand it's alright. Like, I'm not like, this is trash. Like, it's not written like amazing either. Did you find the writing any good?
Not really. I thought it was the writing's fine. It's just very accessible, and I think that speaks to who the audience is. It kind of feels like it's very that kind of Sally Rooney-esque audience, but for nasty girls.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, it's whatever.
That's a nice take.
Yeah, it's a churn and burn.
I bet it means a lot to some people, which is sweet. Like, I bet a lot of people, like, this book meant so much to me.
Yeah, but I reckon there's a whole bunch of girls who are also reading this book and who are reading it and romanticizing it heaps. And I feel kind of bad for the author because
I reckon that's like at least 50%.
Yeah, because I feel like it's meant to be this kind of absurd, commentary on like late stage capitalism or whatever. Meanwhile, you've got these girls who are just like, oh, she's just so cool. Like, she's just the female Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah. Just popping drugs.